does Khamzat beat DDP?
Man, Khamzat could beat anybody in the world in about a round. It's super impressed with what he did to Robert Whittaker. I don't see that against DDP. DDP's scrambling, man. You're gonna need to really be able to pace yourself for 5 rounds. And with DDP's train just continue to keep rolling, and he's still steaming, and his train's still hot.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has offered a stark warning ahead of one of the most anticipated middleweight title fights in UFC history.
Khamzat не был в чемпионских раундах. По-моему, не был никогда.
В 5 не был.
Не был. А этот пацан последние сколько? 4 года?
По-моему.
Еще до чемпионства,
Да,
еще главных
да,
боях.
опыт у него колоссальный.
Да, у него опыт большой, надо учитывать. Просто, когда ты готовишься к такому бою, ты должен рассматривать все сценарии. Ты не можешь, я зайду и откручу.
As Khamzat Chimaev prepares to face Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319, shared his insights with Adam Zubairayev, emphasizing the need for Chimaev to finish the fight early. Khabib, known for his sharp analysis, highlighted that while Chimaev might have an edge in straight boxing, his aggressive, fast-paced style comes with a catch. If he can't get the job done in the early rounds, he could gas out. Khamzat is better at boxing, Khabib noted, but added the crucial caveat that if he doesn't secure a finish, he could burn a lot of energy early, especially since he's never been in a championship round. In contrast, according to Khabib, du Plessis has real experience and won't fade as easily even in the later rounds. In the lead up to this electrifying matchup, the hype surrounding both fighters continues to rise. Chimaev, undefeated in the UFC, has proven himself as a powerhouse with a relentless fighting style. However, his ability to go the distance has been questioned, particularly in championship rounds. Du Plessis, on the other hand, has earned his reputation as a tough, high-volume striker who constantly pressures his opponents. Though not always known for precision, Du Plessis thrives on sheer aggression and volume, making him a tricky opponent, especially if he survives the early onslaught from Chimaev.
Hamzat's an incredible fighter, but you're fighting in the top 5 of the UFC. Everybody's incredible fighters. He has this one thing that works for him, and it's been good. But Khamzat is an absolute animal, absolutely. But I mean, you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, which you could have scored either way. You look at the Kamaru Usman fight and you go, yeah, he did beat Robert Whittaker, but obviously his teeth broke back. It's unfortunate. He is really good. So, deserving of a title shot 100% after that performance. If you look at the Strickland's last performance versus Paulo Costa, and then you look at Khamzat's last performance versus Robert Whittaker, that's it. No-brainer that Khamzat gets the title fight. And I had my own selfish reasons. I was more excited to fight a Khamzat.
Adding to the drama surrounding the fight is the fire that Paulo Costa has thrown into the mix. After a dominant performance at UFC 318, Costa made it clear that he's back and wants to take on Khamzat Chimaev next. Pre-COVID, Costa is back, the Brazilian declared, sending a clear message to the UFC middleweight division. Costa, who had seen his career take a hit due to a severe staph infection and subsequent losses to top fighters like Sean Strickland and Robert Whittaker, showed that his killer instinct was far from gone. His recent win over Roman Kopylov, where he controlled the pace from start to finish, was a major statement. Not only did he dominate the fight, but he also made it clear that he's gunning for a title shot, challenging Chimaev head on.
It was she who wrote to me, Khabib. Yeah, I saw that. This is not true because I saw the whole storyline. I'd like to ask him why you erase all the message.
Oh, okay. What was the first thing that he wrote? What did he write? What was it? Was it like, was he trying to be friendly or was he trying to be aggressive?
No. I was look. To everybody understand the contest. I will say the contest.
Please.
We were in Abu Dhabi 1 month before the fight, something like that. 1 month, 3 weeks before the fight. The fight was on. I was there to fight him. I was training, everything normal, but he felt stressed. He felt stressed because we had a fight come up. This man, I hate this guy. I want to fight him. I want to take everything that he has. I want to take because I truly believe I'm one of the worst opponents for him because I'm strong. I never go back. I never regret. I have a strong hips, strong legs. I can defend takedowns very well. And I'm gonna make a hell of a fight for him.
However, not everyone is convinced that Costa deserves a crack at Chimaev next. Kamaru Usman has issued a reality check for Costa. Despite his impressive performance, Usman believes Costa needs another win against a top 5 opponent before he earns the opportunity to fight Chimaev. According to Usman, Costa hasn't faced some of the rising stars in the division, including Caio Borralho and Nasruddin Imavov. While many fans might side with Costa's anger and frustration toward Chimaev, Usman's point is valid. Costa needs to prove himself against higher-ranked fighters before he can truly claim a shot at the title.
It's a great call-out because this is a fight that was supposed to happen at least on 2 different occasions. This is a fight that was supposed to happen that fell apart, that I actually had to jump in and save a fight on that card. And so, I mean, it's a fight that's a lot of implications on it. I do think maybe Paulo needs to do a little bit more because we've got clear contenders right now at that middleweight. So this ain't the times of old where it was, you were really unsure of who to give it to because you have this long champion that have just kind of ran through everybody. No, we've got guys. You've got Nasruddin Imavov. You've got Caio Borralho sitting up there. Not to mention, you still got Jared Cannonier kind of lurking around up there as well. You got Robert Whittaker. So there's guys, But I think Paulo Costa needs a win over somebody in that top 5. Paulo Costa hasn't fought Caio Borralho, hasn't fought Nasruddin Imavov.
No, but you're right. You're right for more.
Yeah, so I think he still needs another win for UFC to consider that. But great call out.
Reinier de Ridder, a fighter who has trained alongside both Chimaev and Du Plessis, provided a more nuanced perspective on the upcoming battle. De Ridder, who knows the danger Chimaev's aggression poses, warns that while Chimaev is ferocious in the early rounds, it could all backfire if Du Plessis can weather the storm. The South African's unpredictable style, awkward footwork, strange angles, and an ability to throw off opponents' rhythm could disrupt Chimaev's calculated pace. If Du Plessis can survive the initial onslaught, de Ridder believes that he has the mental toughness to capitalize on any openings that might arise as the fight drags on.
I don't think Khamzat is going to get him out of there early, and Dricus is a motherfucker, man. He keeps going, and every round though it doesn't really look better, he looks better at his technique. He gets better every round. And I see Dricus finishing him in the late rounds, like 4th round, 5th round maybe, with a lot of volume. I see Khamzat maybe taking him down in the 1st, 2nd round, getting to his back maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I think Dricus has a good shot.
This sentiment is echoed by many fighters, including Robert Whittaker, who knows both Chimaev and Du Plessis well. Whittaker believes the fight will ultimately come down to whether Chimaev can finish Du Plessis early. He's confident that Chimaev will take Du Plessis down. There's no question about that, but the real challenge will be whether Chimaev can maintain his momentum and finish Du Plessis before he has a chance to recover. If Chimaev can't secure an early finish, Whittaker predicts he'll be in for a tough night as Du Plessis only seems to get stronger as the fight progresses.
Khamzat and Dricus fighting for the belt in just over a month's time. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup?
Honestly, I'd have to say Dricus would be a favorite. I think I'm leaning towards Dricus. The whole thing can be summed up. Chimaev will take him down. Will he finish him before he gets back up? That's the $1 million question. Because if he doesn't finish him on the ground, yeah.
In the fight breakdown, Luke Rockhold offered his own perspective. He's clear in his belief that Chimaev is an absolute beast with an aggressive, wrestling-heavy style that will present serious problems for Du Plessis in the early rounds. However, Rockhold, who's also worked with Du Plessis, noted that the South African's toughness could be the game changer. If Du Plessis can survive the first 2 rounds, something few have been able to do with Chimaev, he'll be in a great position to start taking over the fight as Chimaev begins to tire. Rockhold went on to praise Du Plessis' awkward striking and unpredictable timing, which could throw off Chimaev's rhythm and create openings in the later rounds.
it's not always about the most technical guy. You know, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. You know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard third, fourth, and fifth round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah, 100%.
Who wins, Dricus du Plessis or Khamzat Chimaev?
Israel Adesanya also shared his thoughts on the fight, offering a unique perspective based on his own experience with both fighters. While Adesanya acknowledged Chimaev's explosive style, he seemed to lean towards du Plessis as the likely winner, especially if the fight extends into the later rounds. Adesanya's previous battle with du Plessis gave him insight into the South African's ability to dig deep and remain dangerous when fatigued.
Not bad, but I still think Dricus gets it. I think just late finish, late finish. Khamzat would, I think Khamzat will, if he wins, it's the first 2 rounds, or the first round. But Dricus is just chaotic. Chaotic good, chaotic evil.
Meanwhile, Darren Till, a former training partner of Chimaev, expressed his belief that this fight is a nightmare for du Plessis. According to Till, Chimaev's raw power, pace, and explosiveness will overwhelm du Plessis in the early rounds. Till believes that Chimaev's aggressive style will be too much for du Plessis to handle, and if Chimaev can push the pace early, du Plessis won't have the time to recover. Till argues that this will be the deciding factor, as Chimaev will be looking to dominate from the start and finish the fight before du Plessis can get his bearings.
If I went back to the UFC now as the middleweight I could be, I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds, I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows, I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. Do you know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird. I was
whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that. Don't be disrespectful.
Michael Venom Page, a well-respected striker, also weighed in on the fight, acknowledging Chimaev's ability to transition smoothly between striking and grappling. Page believes that Chimaev's versatility makes him a dangerous opponent, and if he maintains his pace and lands his strikes effectively in the early rounds, it could spell disaster for du Plessis. However, Page also recognizes du Plessis' mental toughness and his ability to perform under pressure, which will make the fight much more unpredictable. The longer the fight goes, the more dangerous du Plessis becomes, and Page believes that Chimaev might find himself in unfamiliar territory if the fight reaches the later rounds.
I don't see anybody beating him.
I like Khamzat too. I think he's been really incredible.
Yeah, definitely. He looked better in the last fight. Obviously, it didn't last long, so we didn't get to see it, but normally he's like Crash Bandicoot the first round, and then his energy dips.
DDP has been interesting, though.
I feel like Dricus is very underrated for a belt holder here.
But that's the thing. If anybody was to, it would be Dricus, because that is the muscular endurance. If you look at like some of the fights nowadays, Merab, Dricus, these guys that have the muscular endurance to be fighting at 7 the whole fight. And then you got someone like Merab that's 7-8 from start to finish. Mate, that's difficult to deal with. And Dricus seems exactly the same. He's like 7-8 the whole time. So if you don't kill him and get him out of there in that first round, second round, then you're going to have a problem for the rest of the fight.
Yoel Romero also chimed in on the matchup. Romero believes that Chimaev's wrestling will be a crucial factor in his success, but he also emphasized du Plessis' toughness as a potential game changer. While Chimaev's grappling could put du Plessis in a difficult spot early, Romero suggested that if du Plessis can survive those exchanges, he'll force Chimaev to dig deeper into his reserves. Romero sees this fight as a battle of wills, where the one with the greater mental fortitude will emerge victorious.
1640. Mm-hmm. Chance.
You have what? Sorry, who do you think? 60 Dricus?
16% for Chimaev and 40% for Duplessis. Yeah, that's a one.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. The wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling for Chimaev right now is very, very dangerous.
Finally, Sean Strickland also believes that Duplessis has a path to victory. Strickland's take is simple. If Duplessis can neutralize Chimaev's wrestling and survive the initial storm, he has the tools to hand the undefeated fighter his first loss. Strickland believes that Duplessis' grappling, composure, and toughness will allow him to weather Chimaev's attacks and take control when Chimaev starts to slow down.
Did you see DDP and Hamzat got announced?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no. They're letting the terrorists in.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
You know it's hard. So those little Chechens, they can grapple, and like someone like me who I've been training with for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple him. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down. You know, I sparred the Chechen, like hands down. I think Dricus wins. But it's just gonna come down to like, are you gonna be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
As UFC 319 approaches, the anticipation for this fight is at an all-time high. With both fighters boasting their unique strengths, this middleweight title clash promises to deliver fireworks. Khamzat Chimaev's aggressive, explosive style could be the key to victory if he can maintain his pace, but Dricus Duplessis' mental toughness, unpredictability, and resilience make him a dangerous opponent who can capitalize if the fight extends into the later rounds. Whether it's Khabib's cautionary advice or the predictions of former champions and fighters, it's clear that this will be a fight for the ages.